money, get money, get money. Hey, and today that's exactly what we are doing over here in the Mommy Money Getter household. What's up, money getters? Happy Thursday. I hope your Thursday is going well. It should be if you woke up. I don't care what situation you are in. Um, we all go through life's vicissitudes, and it's not easy. It's not easy. But if you woke up, if your family woke up this morning, it's going to be okay, whatever it is. Trust and believe it will be okay. Tough times don't last, tough people do, honey. And I know it seems like just something to say, and you know, I know sometimes you don't want to hear that. I've been there. Trust and believe me when I say I have been there. Yes, indeed, I have been there. But yes, this morning I decided to come on live early in keeping with the 30 days of going live. And woo, I'm used to going live and planning it out and scheduling the live and saying, okay, I'm going to go live on Mondays. And before June, because I'm a part of Yo-Yo's, that's Entertainment You Loves. Yo-Yo, what's up, Yo-Yo? Shout out to Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo, that's my girl. I love everything about her right now. She's a whole vibe getting this collective together. But I'm a part of her Streamers University, and it started June. So for the month of June, you will be seeing your girl or hearing your girl on live every day for at least 2 hours. That is the rules. We have to go live for a minimum of 2 hours. However, I did start going live a little bit more at the end of May, but just for a few minutes here and there. Okay. But today my daughter is graduated from high school, and normally I've been going live in the evenings, which I don't know if that's been such a good idea because I'm up early in the morning like today, for instance. I've been up since 4:45 getting my day started. Thank you for coming in and hitting that like button. But I've been up since what 4:44 4:45 a.m. and I get started early in the morning, so by the time 6 o'clock comes, I'm just ready to wind down. Okay, I'm ready to wind down, and I'm ready to go to bed or just chill and do whatever it is I'm doing. Good morning. I see Ricky Bramley Travel. I see no. What about yes? How about yes? Thank you guys for coming in and thumbs up in the live. I appreciate that. How are you guys doing today? Thank you, beautiful. I appreciate that, Ricky Bramley. I try to do what I can. You woke up at 3? You know what? I actually woke up a couple of times during the night, but I went back to sleep, thankfully. Thankfully, I was able to go right back to sleep. That's great. I'm glad. No, make that a yes. How about a yes? Because if you say no, you're already starting off telling yourself no. You know what I mean? Put yes. Yes to everything. Yes to having good things happen for you. Yes to good things coming your way. We don't want to say no. We don't want to say no. You stayed up all night, Ricky? I've been there. Were you up all night intentionally, or were you just up chilling? Or you couldn't sleep? I hope it wasn't because you couldn't sleep. Yeah, but guys, my daughter graduates today. Her graduation is later on this evening. I didn't know they did that. Um, I've always thought graduations were like during the day. I don't know. My graduations in college were during the day. So, yeah. But I'm getting ready now. Um, I was gonna go. I usually go live later, but I want to see what the morning action looks like too. I want to see what you guys are doing up in the morning. Are you getting ready for work? Thank you, Ricky. Thank you. It's been a long time coming. This is her senior year, so she is graduating from high school. Um, And sometimes we want to we want to have that perfect child that does everything right. And my daughter is not a bad girl. Let's be clear, she's not a bad girl. But um, for her, school was really not her judge. And I hope she doesn't get mad at her mom for saying that to the internet. But I say that because I want other moms or fathers or just parents to understand that our kids are all different. And for some of our children, they may be more creative. They may be more so comedians. They may have different things about themselves and their personalities where although they may like going to school and they like being around their friends, sitting in the classroom is just a lot. I was one of those kids. I couldn't stand sitting in the classroom all day. I mean, it just was taking it from other things I'd rather be doing. It was taking attention away from that. I probably just wanted to just sit and just chill. I don't know. I don't know. I was bored, but probably I really just needed something more fascinating and fun to do at school. And that's the thing. They don't make school fun for kids anymore. I know that they let them have laptops and Chromebooks out. And I remember when I was at school, after you did your work, you could get on the computer and you could go, what was it called? Carmen San Diego or Oregon Trails. My teacher would let us get on that. And I didn't have a computer at home, so that was really fun. But it was one of those, what is it? Analog computers? Is it analog or digital? Whatever we have now, it was the opposite of that. It was real cheesy back then, but I also remember being on the school newspaper. I also remember being in drill team, so that was fun. But I think that teachers have to be more in what's the word, innovative, and find ways to keep all of the kids involved and help all of the kids to want to stay in school and pay attention to what's going on. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts about that? Weigh in below in the comments. Let me know what you guys feel about that because some kids they need that structure. They like being in the classroom and it floats their boat. They just eat it all the way up. But most kids have a hard time sitting. And some say, well, it's because kids have ADHD. Well, biologically, man wasn't meant to sit still at a desk all day. Biologically, we were meant to run from lions, tigers, and bears. You know what I mean? We were supposed to be hunting our food. So it's against the laws of nature for you to take a child that's supposed to be outside running and jumping and learning how to fend for themselves and the art of survival. It's kind of like against the biological clock to say, hey, go sit in the classroom and sit in the chair all day. It's against an adult's nature to go sit at a desk all day and straining their neck and their eyesight. We should be out in the open. So I get why so many adults have anxiety. Remember, even in the 60s and 70s, husbands were out working on the railroad, or they would be barbers, or they would be butchers, or the men would be building houses, or police officers, firemen, and now most people are working from home or they're working at a desk. We don't have a lot of those people that are doing those manual labors that take your mind off of everything and work you real hard. I've always said I wanted a hard working man, so when he came home, all he wanted to do is set himself down and chill out in front of the TV with a beer. Leave me alone because he's tired, you know. But yeah, so the graduation is later today, but I decided, okay, I'm going to get on live, shoot the breeze with the money getters. If I got some money getters in the chat, put a money bag in the comments so I know you with me. And yeah, just talk and chit chat with you all. Right now, I'm just getting ready. I'm doing my skincare. You guys can't see me right now, but I'm doing my skincare routine. putting on lotion and all of the things so that I could be nice and fresh. I'll still probably re-shower later because the day will be on me and I'll need to re-shower. But still, I just wanted to get up and get my day going and wake up, because sometimes you just need to wake up first thing in the morning and get your day going. What's up, yo yo? What you doing, girl? You up? I know it's probably a little later where you are, but my daughter's graduating later this evening, and we'll be doing that, and we'll be getting together with the family to go to dinner afterwards. So I will not be on live later. So I said, you know what? Let me get my day started and say good morning to the people, and just grace them with my presence first thing in the morning. Nothing, I'm just chit chatting and getting ready for the day. Doing my skincare routine right now. Today is also the last day of school for my other daughters. Thank God. Thank you, Yo Yo. Thank you. I when my kids are in school, I feel like I'm in school because you have to get up early. You have to make sure they're up and ready to go. You have to make sure they're staying on task. You have to make sure their grades are up. It's a whole thing, you know? Parents, I know you know. And it's like, I'm a stay at home mom, so I don't really have to be up until I'm ready to be up. And sometimes I wake up at all sorts of maddening hours of the night. I could be up at 1 o'clock, and then I'll stay up till like 5 when I'm ready to go back to sleep. But I have to be up to make sure that my girls are getting ready. So I don't get to go back to sleep. So just imagine I'm up all day dragging. And when my days are like that, I don't get a lot done. So I'm just happy that today is the last day, because when I have those days when I'm up and I can't go back to sleep right away, I can just sleep in and then I can get my day started later. Because I don't know, I get a lot done in the summer. We do so much more because I'm able to get better sleep. At my age, I'm no good without my sleep. You know, when I was younger, I could survive on 3 4 hours of sleep. I used to work 16 hours a day, 16-hour days for my job, you know, and it was nothing for me to do overtime and work 20 hours and be up the whole time. Fight and sleep, but up. Okay, and then still have to drive an hour home in pitch black through the mountains. And I stayed up. Good morning, open book. What's up with you? What's up? Okay, we getting somewhere. We getting somewhere. I'm just chit chatting with everybody while I get ready for my day. Hopefully, you all are having a great Thursday. Summer is up on us. I hope you all have plans for the summer, to vacation, to chill with your family, to unwind. Get you a little piece of that rest and relaxation this summer. When I grew up, or as I was growing up, summers were just so fun to me. I don't care. They just felt so fun. Even if I didn't go anywhere, I just loved the summer because it's sunny outside, and it just feels like you're gonna just have something exciting going on. Like, I don't know. But now that I'm older, I like the fall. I like the calmness of the fall. I like the peace of winter when it rains. So, but what's your favorite season of the year? Comment which season you like best and why. Open book, you going to get ready for work? You like winter too, open book? Yes, I love it. Summer, yes. Yo, yo, you seem like a summer person. It checks. It checks because I know you like to um, do things with the family. I I'm not so. I don't know. When I was younger, I used to love to be around my family, and I still do. But like, I don't know. Butterfly family and vlogs. What's good, girly? We in here like swimwear. Thank you all for joining my live and for hitting the thumbs up for me. I appreciate that as you're coming in. I appreciate you guys for doing that. Yes, you love to travel? Absolutely. And the summertime is a great time for that because most places have good weather in the summertime. I know sometimes, like Hawaii, it rains all year, so you don't know what you might get. And, but most places, or if you go too late in the summer to places like Florida and the southern states, you might catch a hurricane, but, you know, ain't nothing wrong with a little cane. Ain't nothing wrong with a little hurricane or tornado. I'm being silly. I'm usually not up at all or talking. I'm the type of person that just because my eyes are open, that does not mean I'm awake. So for me to be up chit chatting like this is foreign to my nature. But I'm having a good time this morning. I feel great. My daughter just came in here and said, "You're on live? Like, come on with this live stuff." But Yo Yo got us on it. We own it, Yo Yo. We are on our tip. I just left Kendall's live this morning. She was having a good conversation about parenting and motherhood, and we were all heavily engrossed into the conversation about how it can be. Thank you, Yo Yo. I appreciate it. Butterfly, I think you were over there this morning with our girl Kendall, and it was a good conversation. She actually kind of took my ideal, unbeknownst to her, because I think I was going to have a conversation about motherhood, but we already did it over there, and it went really well this morning. So I'll have to find something else. My sister was like, uh, talk about perfumes, because my younger sister, she's been on my lives, and she was like, yeah, I want you to go over the perfumes you have, because she knows I'm a perfume connoisseur, and she wanted to learn more about that. Um, I see that, but I don't have as many as some of these girls have. They have like thousands and thousands of bottles of perfume. I barely even wear one or two of them, so I don't know if I need that many deodorants or whatever. I mean, not deodorants, perfume. I said deodorants because I'm about to grab my deodorant. But yes, I was wearing the in the summertime. I think my body chemistry has changed now that I have got older. And in the summertime, I'll switch between like Degree or what is it, Secret, and they and I feel like now that I'm older, I feel like I perspire more. But and I'm gonna. This is not a plug. I'm not trying to promote this right now at all. But that Donna Karen uh, deodorant, it seems like when you start to sweat, you smell it more. You really smell it more. So I like it. I think I have some points on Macy's. So even though my link is to Amazon, I'm gonna go over to Macy's and use my points and get some more deodorant, because this one is almost gone. But it does a trick, ladies. Um, if you were thinking of getting it, it really does do the trick. But I'm almost out of it, so I need to get some more. And we'll see how it does in the thick of the summer months, because where I live, I'm from Cali. I'm in Cali, and where I live at, um, it can get as hot as 118. Last year, it wasn't playing with us. For a few years, we didn't have those type of extreme temperatures. I remember those type of temperatures when I was growing up and when I was a teenager. But we would have like 103, 105, 107, maybe 109. But last year it got outrageous. And it got to the point where I was just like, you couldn't even go outside, because you can't go outside and enjoy life when it's that hot. So it was like, yeah, it's a lot to talk about. I can do it too. Yeah, I could. But for sure, I may still do it, but in the, later on. Butterfly family vlogs and lifestyle. Right, Yo Yo, you can tailor your parenthood convo with how it pertains to you personally. Keep pushing forward. Good morning. Good morning. Keep pushing forward. I appreciate you for joining. I appreciate all the Yo Yo gang, or that's what I'm calling y'all, the Yo Yo gang. we're the streaming gang. I'm always throwing gang at the end of something. I'm so immature. But yeah, what time is it? Oh, it's 7:24 because I have that one child who is a stickler for time. Oh my gosh, honey. I'm like, you know, it's only the last day of school. You don't have to go. She was like, yeah, but I'm like, as I'm dropping her off, I'm seeing that the students that are in attendance is winding down. But my daughter is like, no, I need to go to school every day, and I feel her on that. That's my one daughter that's been straight A's all year long. The other ones, if they get an A, cool. If they get a B, cool. Um, just be happy I'm going and I'm not complaining. But this daughter did not play. And the principal asked me, he said, how do you get her to stay on task like that? He said, because, we don't have a lot of straight A students. And I'm like, huh? I'm like, this is a high school, like about, I don't know how many students are there, probably at least 600. I don't know, maybe more than that. I'm not sure. But he said that the school didn't have a lot of straight A students. And I don't know if I felt bad or good about that. Because I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. And when they had the honor roll ceremony, it wasn't, the auditorium wasn't full. So yeah. They didn't even they just gave them a certificate. Usually they get a little gift, a little free lunch, a little free something. I'm like, this school is cheap. But yeah, my daughter did really good this year. Um, her first report card, I think me, my mother, and her older sister, I think we all gave her like $100. The second report card, she got 200 from me. And I think her sister may have given her something. I'm not sure. But then when she got honor roll, and around Christmas time, they had the Beats by Dre for $69. So I wasn't into the Beats by Dre, but I said, let me get a pair because I'm always losing my pods. And so I was like, let me get some. I was like, let me get a few pair because my children always ask for the AirPods that you put in your ear, and they've lost like several pairs. So uh, one year my daughter asked for the Beats. I said okay, and so last year they were $69, and probably during Christmas time this year, I'm thinking that those Beats by Dre would be probably $49 or $59 again at Walmart. And so I asked all my kids, do you want some? And my daughter was like, no, I don't want one. I just want a new iPhone 16. So I got her that. But, she's a good kid and she does what she needs to, no problem. So I was going to get her the Beats as well. But my daughter, like I said, she's a stickler for time. And if she says she doesn't want something, she's that kid that will not use it. Those Beats by Dre will be in the closet somewhere. So I wait for her to ask. And I should have just got them because they were so cheap and just put them in the closet and just give them away as gifts. But I was like, I just got a couple pairs and gave my other daughter one. And then my daughter who already had them, she loaned hers to her little boyfriend. Okay, so I got her another pair. And I got me a pair. So, uh, I just went ahead and got us some. So when my daughter gets her honor roll, she was like, "Oh, can I?" She told me beforehand, she said, "If I get straight A's again, do you think I can get Beats by Dre?" And I was like, "Well, I'll get you some anyway, daughter." I said, "But sure," but I didn't get them yet. So when she got honor roll, I said, "Okay, I'm gonna get those as a gift for her," and she was, because listen, my daughter had already got her some cheapy headphones from like Five Below. And she was like, these, no, Mom, I don't need Beats by Dre. These work just fine. That's the kind of child she is. Not Kamaria, not the one that's graduating. Kamaria's going to spend all my money. My mom was like, I don't know what man is going to make your kids happy because they are spoiled. And I don't do it on purpose. I just try to make sure my kids have what they need. And I just try to make sure my kids are able to experience the things that I feel like they should experience as teens. So, and I think I do it within reason. I don't think I overdo it, but my family says I does. I don't know. I don't think I overdo it, but My daughter, when I finally got her the beats and I gave them to her, and mind you, instead of $69, now they're $160. I'm like, girl, I did not want to spend $160 because I just paid $69 for them, and I could kick myself. That's like almost three pair I could have got. So next time I see a deal like that, I will not sleep on it. I will make sure I get it and just put it away. But you guys have to realize too, I have so much stuff that I did that with, like, oh, I'm gonna need it for this. I forget what I buy. I forget what I have, and I buy it two or three times. And in my house is it's a warehouse. I need a bigger house. Or I need to get rid of some of this stuff. Like as we speak, I have a pile of clothes that I need to box up, and I'm going on a diet, and we're going to talk about that. So we're going to talk about health and wellness probably sometime this week, because your girl has been off the chain with the eating, and I feel it. And I'm too old to be so undisciplined. But I have so many clothes that I'm going to bundle up because I don't have any more room for my summer stuff. So um, I'm just looking at it and I'm like, all this stuff. I don't plan to wear this stuff in uh, next winter. I plan to be skinty. So what am I gonna do? I need to stop buying stuff. I want to say the S word because I feel like I want to curse, but I'm not gonna curse today. But I do need to stop buying stuff. Hey, thank you for joining, Kendall. I was just telling the chat that we had a good time talking over there. Actually, when I told you I was going, I still had you on while I got ready, and I still was listening to you because that was a good conversation that we were having about the kiddos and school and how the school system be trying to play us, but we're not having it. We're not having that. You know, even with this daughter here, the one that's graduating, I'll tell you a little story. Kamari, if you listen and don't get mad at mom. But my daughter has always been that Spitfire. She's been flipping and tossing and turning. The first day she came home, my baby curled up like a caterpillar. And I said, Mom, what the hell is this baby doing? I mean, she literally took her head and touched her feet. She in her little car seat. You know, she would curl all the way up, just a strange little baby. And then she would look down at you with her dark eyes like black marbles, and just look down her nose at you like peasant. And when she got older, she was so skinny, which was like 2 and 3, and she would just beat the crap out of her cousins. I mean, she was kicking and raring to go. So by the time my daughter was that kid that was always turned up. Okay, she get mad just as much as she was happy. As she get mad, she's kicking and screaming, breaking TVs. I mean, just off the chain. So when Kamaria gets her little butt in kindergarten, I'm like, I know these people are gonna call me every single day. And at first they didn't, you know. At first they didn't call, but then as school went on, of course I got those calls and I knew it was coming. You as a mom, you know your child. You know which one is going to give you hell. And you know the ones that's going to do well and be quiet and go with the flow. I knew Kamaria was going to give them hell. And she did. So finally, I think it's first or second grade. And it got to the point where the principal was like, you know you could spank her, right? You know you could spank her. It's okay if you spank her. I'm like, what? Boy, if you don't go sit down. But she was giving them hell at that school. And I had to sit down and tell him, the principal, I said, well, you know, I know she's rambunctious and I know how she can be. But you're going to have to find a way to keep my daughter in school. We're not going to be doing the calls. And I looked at Kamaria, little 7-year-old, big-eyed self, and I said, you know we don't do calls home. You know we don't do that. So I got her straight in second grade. They will not be calling me, and you will not be carrying on at this school. And I let the principal know. She's 7 years old. You're not going to be calling me talking about picking up somebody from school. You're going to find a way to deal with my daughter at school. And not just deal with her. You're going to find a way to make school livelier. You're going to have to find out how you're going to handle this child, because you're not going to just send her home. And now they don't let you send these kids home. And these kids are off the chain and they need to be sent home to their parents so their parents can find out what's going on with them. And they just let them stay in the classroom. But back then, about what was it, about 15 years ago? No, not 15 years ago, because she's gonna be 18. So it had to be about 11 years ago. They didn't have all that least restrictive and keep the kids in school and all that jazz. No, you got suspended. You were going home. So I told the principal, like, listen, I get it, because I know what she was. I know what they was dealing with. But no, we're going to keep this girl in school. So let's figure out how we're going to do that. And Kamaria, we don't do calls home. You know we don't do that. I'm not going for that. So the next year, third grade, she started doing better. I think by fourth grade, Kamaria was on a roll. Kamaria was on a roll all through elementary. I mean, I would get tired of going up there after work and having to sit through those ceremonies, hearing all those other kids. One year I said, she said, well, Mama, she said, Mama, I'm getting an award at school. And I'm like, what? What, Jesus, hold up. Not not my kid that's carrying on at the school. All right, let me go down to the schoolhouse. So they're calling all these kids' names. First they start off with, I think they had principals honor roll. First they had honor roll, principals honor roll. Honor roll was like 3.5, 3.0. Principals honor roll was like 3.5. And the superintendent's honor roll was like 4.0. So they get through all the honor rolls. And I look at my sister because my niece or nephew was getting some too. And I said, wait a minute, because I'm thinking my child got maybe 3.0. And I'm like, looking at her, they calling all these kids. And I told my sister, Doodle, that's what we call my youngest sister. I said, Doodle, did this child have me come up here and they're not giving her an award? She said, no, Charity, she's getting an award. She knows they're giving her an award. I'm like, okay, because they haven't called her name yet. And they done called. I done sat through about an hour of names being called. And when they said my child had the 4.0, you could have knocked me over with a feather. So from that point on, she did pretty good. And she was doing okay in middle school, but I saw, because middle school is a different beast altogether. Put a 2 in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. If you have middle schoolers, when our kids go from elementary to middle school, it becomes something way different. So my daughter, she had a friend group of 10 kids. Okay, a whole gang of kids. And now, mind you, where I live with a bunch of my family, and we are all having kids and doubles, triples, quadruples. We're all pregnant together, so all of our kids are together now. They're all together and they're all at the school. And it's about a dozen cousins and their friends. So you know, middle school didn't have nothing for them. And I know they're glad that COVID happened because they got to send our gang of kids home. Because they're about to show off. I already know it. You got to call. Sis, I got to call home yesterday. I had to end the live stream and get to the school. Middle school is the hardest because, Kendall, because they are between uh, they're just now finding out really what life's all about, and they're testing their boundaries. They're starting to find out. They're going through puberty. They're goofy. They're awkward, and they're managed. And the girls are fast. And people say, "Don't call girls fast." Yes, they are. I call it fast when not fast in a bad way, but like fast like you starting to like little boys, and the boys starting to like little girls. You starting to think you're cute. I know when I got 12, that's when I really start wanting to do my hair and look cute for the boys and stuff like that. And you know, you look at other girls and you see how what they're wearing, and you know what you want to wear, and you know how you want your hair to be. So that's how they start getting in middle school, and they start giving you problems. Some kids, my kid is one of those kids. My two youngest ones, Robin and Raven, they're very mild and meek, and that's totally the opposite me and their dad. So I don't get it. But they're very mild mannered, very meek, very easygoing, very much, you know, I'm gonna chill. But Kamaria, honey, whew, So I thank God. I know those teachers was like, we're glad we got rid of those kids during COVID, but they were home during COVID and transitioning in California. They shut the schools down. Governor Newsom was not playing. He shut it down. These kids didn't go to school for 2 years. So imagine trying to get those kids back to school after my daughter totally missed middle school. She missed the entire middle school experience. So now when ninth grade comes, you're taking your kids back to school, and these kids look like they're ready to go to a sleepover. I remember in high school, yes, they start smelling themselves. That's what my mom used to say. They're smelling themselves. Like, you smell yourself now. Exactly. Exactly. And I don't want to say fast in a bad way because I think that has a negative connotation. And that's like used to demean little girls. No, I think that all girls, whether they show it or not, whether they express it or not, once they start getting 12 and 13, they're starting to become aware of themselves. And it's not uncommon for them to like the little boys and the little boys to like them. But as parents, it's up to us to observe that and to guide them through it and allow them to be able to express themselves. Like, one of my daughters, I'm not going to say her name, she'll kill me, but she came to me and said, I have a crush on a boy. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, I have a crush on a boy. And she was able to talk to me about that and tell me the boy and how she liked him and all of that. And I was like, okay, cool. Cool. I don't know why somebody's trying to call me. They see me on live. Mama, what do you want? But yeah, so she let me text my mom and see what she want. Uh Cause she bothering me. I hope I didn't say something that she didn't like. Who cares? No, I'm just playing, mama. But listen, so she was able to express that to me, and that made me feel as a mom, that made me feel so proud that I'm at the stage because I have 5 daughters. I have 2 adult daughters, and then I have the 3 teenagers. After Kamaria is 2 more teens. Okay, so my life is just 5 girls over here, guys. I'm going through it. It's a sorority, but it's also drama, and it's also uh, it's a lot. No boys, no boys, Kendall. God didn't trust me with boys, and it's fine. It's fine. Their dad said, "You know you don't make boys." I'm like, "You're the one who makes girls. You're the one that keeps giving me all those girls." But I knew by the time I got to Kamaria, I said, "God, you don't want me. You don't trust me with boys. You don't want me with boys, do you?" And I was okay with it because I really, really wanted just at least one son. But with me having 5 girls, I'm like, where would a boy even fit in? No, he wouldn't even fit in with us. And we have our own thing going. So, I learned to be okay with it. But I still want a grandson. So hopefully, years down the line, I get a grandson and I'll be happy with that. But where was I? So I was just happy that my child felt comfortable and felt like she could tell me, I like a boy at school, you know? And I just thought that was so cool. And yeah, so moving on from that, Kamaria and her little high school experience. When she went, when after COVID, when these kids went back to school, I would drop kids off. And like I was saying, in my day, high school was a fashion show. We all had our brand new sneakers. We had on our brand new jeans. We was ready. We had our hairdos, whatever. It was a fashion show, especially with if you're African American, we don't play that. We're going to school dressed to the nines. These kids was coming to school with uh, bonnets on. Everybody had flip flops or Crocs. They had on pajama pants, and my daughter was wearing Crocs and her sweatpants. I'm like, why did I buy all these school clothes if you're just gonna come dressed like this? But this was ninth grade. She was like, what? I don't care about all that. Ain't nobody trying to come to school worried about what everybody else is doing. And I'm like, huh, okay. But that's what it was like after COVID. These kids were like, it was hard to get them back into the groove of going to school. At least where I live, that's what I was seeing. Hi, Murigan, film producer. Thank you for joining my live this morning. I hope you're having a good morning. I hope you all are having a good morning. Um, so that's how ninth grade went. And ninth grade got shaky. Ninth grade got shaky because my daughter was like, "Ugh, I'm not really feeling it." So I pulled her out and we did independent study because she just was like, "Ugh." So I pulled her out and she did great on independent study. Then she was like, I don't want to go back now. So I send her back and she goes back. And then she was like, ugh. She plays football and does all of the things, goes to dances and blah, blah, blah. But in the middle of junior year, she was like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, come on back out because my whole thing was I got to make sure this kid stays up on her credits and I can't have her at school just BSing. So here comes senior year. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish my senior year on a good note. And we did prom, we did this and that, but you know, I'm the type of mother that I expect the best for my children, but I also don't feel that my kids should live through my lens or through what I want for them. I feel like they should want it for themselves. And my child did want it for herself, but at the same time, she's not like her younger sister who's like 2 years underneath her who lives and breathes for an A, okay? Who likes getting an A. My daughter is like, you know what? This is boring. So for her to graduate on, actually, she was done with everything 2 months ahead. So she could just, enjoy the senior festivities after that prom, senior day, grad day, um, grad night, and all of those things. And then I guess the last couple of weeks they've just been practicing. Who knew they had to practice to walk up and get their diploma? But that's what they've been doing this week. Um, they've also been yes, everybody, please hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. Please, 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 please hit the like button. Um, they've been oh, what is that? They've been getting ready to do all the senior checkouts and all of that, get their cap and gown and whatnot. So we get through all of that stuff, get through prom night, get through prom day. You guys have been here for that. We get through grad night. And now, oh, we get through senior ditch day because that was before grad night. They did senior ditch day at the beach. And then they went to Laguna Beach um, and did senior ditch day there. And then they had grad night at Universal Studios. And then after that is senior day. That's when they check out and make sure they turn in their books and everything. But before they could go to grad night and even buy their ticket for grad night, they had to pay any fines that they had. So I'm thinking, okay, we're good to go. I paid the fines for a book my daughter said she couldn't find. And mind you, she said a book. And I have to pay $50. I'm like, oh, okay. So I give her the $50 along with the money for the ticket. She pays for both. I'm thinking, okay, we're good. Here comes senior day when they have to do the official checkout and get their cap and gown. And the school says, my child uh, has three books outstanding and she owes $585. I was like, oh no. And you guys already know your girl marched up to that school because I was having a meeting that day. I was on a Zoom meeting for a few hours and my daughter was trying to call and text me and let me know that they wouldn't give her cap and gown and that she owed $585. And I'm like, I didn't even really read the text. I was just like, oh no, oh no, oh no. Like, you know how Claire Hustable was, oh no, not my daughter. Oh, not today. Oh no, not, oh no, I don't think so. I marched up there and I'm like, give me the principal. One of the principals. I don't care. It's like four principals at the school. Give me one of these principals right now. And I'm like, slow your roll. Slow your roll. Because, Charity, you can get ghetto. And when you get ghetto, you can't get anywhere. Be calm. And then when you get ghetto, you get you get ridiculous. Chill. So I chilled out. I chilled out. And I said, yes, I said, can I speak to the principal? or a vice principal. This, I let them know what was going on. I was like, yeah, I have to know. It's important because my daughter is about to graduate and they're saying she owes $585. Mind you, I have the $585 to pay for the books, but I'm not about to pay $585. I don't know about anybody else, but I I'm a single mother. $585 could go to a lot of different things, okay? So I said, okay, if I had to pay that, then I would have to pay that. Meanwhile, my mom was like, well, she did everything. Uh, you could pay that anytime and she gonna get that diploma anytime. I'm like, lady, what's wrong with you? My child is walking across that stage. That's the whole point. Who cares about the diploma? She wants to walk across the stage like all the other students. So if I had to pay the 585, I'm gonna pay it. But at first, because I'm this type of person, let me speak to the manager. Okay, I can get real Karen when I need to. So I go up there and they're like, oh, that principal that handles that is not here now, but I will give her your information. But let me go see which books they're saying are outstanding. I'm like, okay, I understand you're saying she has books outstanding, but when she came here to pay the fines, shouldn't you have told her that at that point? I would have said, well, you owe books, you need to find them. You need to find those books or you're going to miss out on grad night. I'm not going to pay, because mind you, grad night for my daughter meant I need a hairdo, I needed some new shoes, I need a new outfit. I need a $200 Lululemon outfit to go traps around Universal Studios. I need brand new Nikes to look cute at Universal Studios. I need to get hair and all the stuff for grad day at Universal Studios. So, plus the $200 ticket, plus the money that for her to buy souvenirs and buy food or whatever. So, yes, I told my daughter she didn't do senior sunrise where they all were supposed to meet up somewhere and early in the morning before school starts. I'm like, you need to do all of the things that are going on. Hey Karen, thanks for joining. You need to do all of the things that are going on because you're not going to get this back. And I'm telling you, I didn't want to tell her this, but it's all downhill from here. Okay? Once you turn 18, it's college and it's grown up stuff and it's real, real ghetto. So enjoy your senior year. But let me go back to my story before I forget. So she wanted all this stuff just for grad night. Okay? All right? And we would have took some of that off and paid you a $585 fine if you couldn't find those books. So she probably, knowing Kamaria, because Kamaria is this type of child, Kamaria could have known. Now that I'm thinking about it, and I'm not gonna get started today. Ooh, I don't want to get started. But she could have known she had those books. They could have told her, "Well, we're gonna let you just pay the fine today, but you need to find those books because if not, you're gonna owe this on senior day." She could have known that, and would have had me up there looking the fool. Ugh. So anyway, when I get to the school, I'm like, listen, I get that you're saying she owed for the books, but why didn't you tell us before? And the librarian is, well, we don't want to penalize the students um, when they're in ninth and 10th and 11th grade. So on senior day, that's when we make sure they have the books or whatnot. I'm like, why would you do that 4 days before the kids are graduating? You don't know what their parents' finances are looking like. And if you're going to penalize them for grad night, penalize them for prom. Graduation is the most important school day of their life, of their childhood. Why would you penalize them from getting their diploma for books? And this is ninth grade books that you're asking for. Are those books even the books that they're using now? Are those books obsolete? And they're like, well, I'm like getting ready to turn up. And they're like, well, you can get the books from Amazon. And they're much cheaper on Amazon. I'm like, well, why didn't somebody tell me that before I come down here in this 100-degree weather with my diva fan that doesn't want to work? I'm all over the schoolhouse. I could have been at home ordering Amazon books. They give me a piece of paper with the books on it with no ISBN, no ASIN. So I'm like, I'm an author. So I know as an author, every book has a number. I don't know what these books are. These books can be anything. My daughter's like, oh no, those are the books. And I know Kamaria. Kamaria is always that one that's going to try to, pull one over my eyes. I'm like, Kamaria, are you sure? She was like, yes. And got my younger daughter agreeing with her, aren't these the books? These are the books, right? And my younger daughter's like, yeah, that's the books. Those are the books. So I'm like, okay, because mind you, it is Friday evening. The school is closed. And I can't call back up to the school and say, you know what? Give me the numbers for the book so I can make sure that when I go to Amazon, I have the right book. So I ordered the three books, and it's like $109 to get the books. And the books are going to be at my house, supposed to be on Sunday and Monday. But the principal has still not called me back. And I called the principal and I let her know what's going on. The books are coming. She's like, you know what? Just bring me the printout that you ordered the books, and that's good. That'll be good. So one of the books come, and sure enough, the librarian's like, "That's not the book. That's not the book." I'm like, you know what? I'm so sick of this. Ooh, so sick of this girl. So I call back to the principal. Mind you, this principal knows who I am. She's been dealing with me all this school year with different things that came up and with my children or whatever. So she knows I'm not the one. I'm going to be up at the school for every event. I'm going to be on the phone, on the hotline, on the bat phone, calling you if anything should happen. Bam. So she's like, you know what? Bring the other two books and I'm just going to waive everything. You're good. Because she could tell I was about to turn up. And before I could turn up, she's like, everything's good. Nope, I already know. The librarian told me. Because I was going to turn up on that librarian. Like, what do you mean that's not the book? And you didn't give me the book numbers. That's why it's not the right book. And I guess she went and told her we got a mom on the phone getting ready to act a fool on us. And I was so glad that, that worked out for us because my daughter was walking across that stage and I was not about to pay $585 for her to do it. So, we still have to pay for dinner tonight. After graduation, we're going out for dinner, so I need that money for other things. Not to mention, because it's graduation, I need a new dress, and I need lashes, and I need my nails done, and I need my hair done. You know? So I got these little braids in my hair. I'm ready to take them down and go back to the shop myself. But it's because it's June, I still have another birthday this month. So I won't be able to go get my hair done this month. And I was thinking I want to go get my nails done and everything today, but I'm a mom and my kids come first. So I have another daughter who just has to have a sweet 16. Well, I need a dress and I need bundles and I need my hair done. So, mind you, when they get bundles, thank God I got my sister. If you ever need bundles, her bundles are off the chain. Okay? Her name is Focal Point on here. Sometimes you're going to see her in my live. Her bundles are everything. I don't know. I'm not a bundle girly, but the lady who does my, the girl who does my kids' hair, she also did my hair and she says they're really good bundles. And if you see Kamaria's hair, you'll see they're good bundles. But so I get them for a little bit lower, but it's still a few $100s. And then it's a few $100s to get the girl to sew them in and do their hair. So you're talking about $500-$600 times two this month plus graduation, plus Sweet 16. I am not made out of money. What'd you say? What's up, Daily Sis with Jazzy J? I'm so glad my daughter didn't want the Sweet 16. No. My type A daughter wants all the milestones. Every dance at the school, every homecoming, every prom. She wants to do prom 11th grade and 12th grade. Is she going to, this is 11th grade. Yes, she'll be in 11th grade. So she said, well, I can do a small prom in 11th grade and I can do a big prom in 12th grade. So that's what I'm dealing with. Plus we got driver's school because I'm not teaching these little divas how to drive. I don't have the patience for that. So that's another $1,000 to get them both in driver's school. And I should have been did it with Kamaria. But I got other stuff going on. And every time I tell her to study the book, I don't know if she's studying the book, but this summer she will learn how to drive because I'm not taking her to college. I'm not doing that. And she got to have a car for that. It's always something when you have kids. It's always something. And that's what I was going to talk about. And it looks like that's what I end up talking about during this live. And it's supposed to be about graduation. But yeah, that's what, as a mom, or if you're a single dad or you're a single mom or you're a married couple, you know that kids require so much. And you want to give it all to them. You don't want them to miss out on anything. And that's how I am as a mom. I don't want my kids to miss out on anything. I don't want them to feel like they couldn't do something because mama didn't have it. And for me, and I think I said this, I think I posted that on my community tab one time. When you're a parent, I don't have it, it's not an option. No, you got to get up and go get it. You got to get out there and go get it. And I'm always going to get up and get out there and go get it for my babies until God said I can't. If he got me sick or flat on my butt and I can't get up, then that's one thing. Then we just can't do it. But if there's a breath in my body and there's strength in my bones, I'm not gonna ever have excuses for my kids. They'll never see that. You know, they'll know when they grew up, mama did it, and then I have the photographic evidence to prove it. I'm constantly taking pictures. I'm constantly posting on YouTube. So, no, they won't ever be able to say, well, you didn't do this, because you know kids like to say that. You didn't give us this. We didn't have that. And we, no, no, you didn't. Look on this date. Let me go to Google. Because Google is good for keeping track of everything. Let me see. And I could even just type it out. Robin Sweet 16. Kamaria's bundles. Kamaria's hair. I can go right to it. You have a second car. My daughter has already claimed it as hers. I'm like, do you pay car note or insurance? Right, Jazzy J. Parents work overtime to make it happen. We sure do, Karen. Boys can be expensive too. They want all the name brand stuff. Girls can dress cute and don't need all that. But I can't imagine a girl because these boys break me. Kendall, these girls aren't no better. My youngest has a Jordan collection. She wants all the Jordans. And my kids don't have the little baby feet. They got big feet like their mama. So I got to pay full price for adult sizes. You know, I don't get to get them the little, you know how some girls can still wear the youth sizes? Not my girls. They wear adult sizes. So, well, Kamaria, she'll buy youth sizes sometimes, but she has a smaller foot. But no, they all have to get those 200. I think like if and then they don't want the Air Jordan ones that's usually 100 or 120. No, then they want Fear of God. Then they want Lululemon, and then they want what is it, True Religion. Then they want bundles. Then they need lashes. Then they need nails. Boys are so much easier because a haircut is all they need is a haircut, some cool jeans, some cool tennis shoes, and they give them a graphic tee. Not these girls. They need bras too. Boys don't need bras. Boys don't need their nails done. Boys don't need lashes. And this is times 5. And then I have 2 granddaughters. So, and just because my daughters are grown, they do not lighten up on me. They don't take it easy on me. They still want stuff. Oh, mom, do you think my oldest daughter, oh mom, you think you could buy me Kanye West tickets? I mean, not Kanye West, what is it? What was his name? Kendrick Lamar tickets? When we go to Disneyland, I'm paying for everybody. If you see us out, I'm paying for everybody. These girls act like, oh, I'm broke. They don't be broke. They have money, but they be on me. I'm tired of it. Feminine products every month. Listen, Karen, here we go with the pads. Here we go with the body wash. I think they eat body wash. Here we go with the lotion. Here we go with I need edge control. I need hair gel. I need hair brushes. I need edge brushes. Mama, we running out of detergent. Mama, how do they run out of detergent? All the detergent I buy. And when you have girls, do you know how much tissue I buy? I'm buying like dozens and dozens of rolls of tissue a month. What are you guys doing? Are you eating the tissue? Mom, it's three girls in here, like, because I have three daughters that live with me. And then when their nieces come over and their older sisters come over, and it's like I have so many women in my family, then we got all that tissue just going out the house. Mm-hmm. Grown folk feet. Yes, Kendo. Haircuts $40 a week and boxers $40 shoes one. Hey, this boy crazy too. Yo, Deborah Reagan. Let me see. Yes, I know boys can be expensive too, but yo, I'm telling you, these girls are off the chain. Like every time I turn around, they want something. They want something, and then of course I got my needs and my wants. My mom was like, "You over there just spending money like water?" No, I'm not. This is stuff we actually need. We need all of this stuff. We need all this stuff. And then girls need perfume. They need, you know. But since the 18-year-old, I told her, I said, you're 18, so now, still, of course, I still take care of you. You're in college. But all that extra stuff you be trying to get me to do, you got to work for that. That's on you now. Mm-hmm. You just paid 250 for some Fulani braids, Jazzy J. Yep. One thing about it though, Kamaria, she can braid her own hair. So, but she'll braid her hair up one week and then the next week be ready to take it down and ask for more hair. Or she'll want to dye her hair one week, she'll want it red. She does her hair like, with the sew-ins, she'll keep those in a little bit longer because that's more expensive and she like the sew-ins. But if her hair is braided, she's gonna braid it one day and then take it down. Like it seems like 2 or 3 days later. So yes. These kids, the flyest broke folks I know, right, Just New Body. They sure are. They sure are. On our dime and on our time. And this is what I love about them. This is what I love about my kids. You have all these clothes with tags still on them. You just had me spend this money for that. And now you're not wearing it. Yeah. Are you giving it away? Or, I'm like, you don't have no, and I'm like, you don't have any concept of money. The only one, once again, is the type A. The type A girl got everything. She probably has everything I ever bought her. I just went in her room. I said, no, you gotta go through this. You gotta condense. You gotta go through and get some of this stuff because her room is just like a warehouse too. It's just full of stuff. And then when I look at things like that, I'm like, okay, you're buying too much. So I think I said June would be a no spend month, but I'm for sure July will be a no spend month for me. I'm very much sure of that, and that's what I plan on doing. Yep, right, Kendall. The fly is brokies. Yeah, but my kids have worked summers. They would work in the summers a little bit, and my daughter Kamara, she works. She does, work from time to time, but that does not her no good. That girl spend money like she's a Rockefeller. I'm like, girl, like you really. And she's like, oh no, next check I'm gonna save, and the next check she still doesn't save. I'm like, girl, I don't know what you're gonna be doing once you get 18 because once you're working and you're making your own money, I'm not going to be responsible for certain things. I'm not the type of parent that like, oh, you're 18, you're grown. It's time for you to get out and start working. I'm not that type of parent, but I'm like, I will pay for certain things, but now it's going to be up to you to use your money to pay for certain things. You don't have to pay rent, go to school, do what you do. You have a home. If you need to be here, you can go away if you want to, whatever. But it's going to be certain things that I'm not going to buy. I'm not going to get nails done. I'm not going to get hair done and stuff like that. That's something I feel like are the extras. If you need a school book, you need a car, I want to help her do that. I want to be able to help her get her first car and help pay for insurance and stuff like that. But other things, Zoo Zooms and Wham Whams, all those McDonald's runs you guys like to send me on, I didn't even get to that. I didn't even get to the food. I probably spend like 2 or 3K a month on food. And half the food is in the freezer, getting freezer burnt because we're not cooking it. because they just saw they have chicken wraps at Popeyes. Let's go get some. Or they just saw, or they feel like Subway today. And me, I'm no better. I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like cooking anyway. Get in the car. Let's go to Subway and get us some sub sandwiches. Ridiculous. But I'm going to stop that. This summer, I'm going to stop that because I'm going to go on a diet. Butterfly family vlogs and lifestyle. That's why I'm so careful. Never want to live above my means and have to work like a slave to keep it. You know what? Butterfly family vlogs. Um, I don't try to live above my means. I often do. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say that I have money like that all the time, but I also try to live like what one thing I do is I try to live in the future, meaning that I try to always plan ahead for what's to come. So if I know that prom is coming, then I'm gonna work now for the prom and for the Sweet 16, and I'm going to try to make sure I have the money 6 months in advance, or I know, okay, the work I did today is going to net me that money, that extra money in the future. Because you definitely have your normal bills and your normal day to day, but when you have kids, things can come up. They're going to need school clothes. They're going to need, they might have book fairs. They may have my kids all have braces, so they're going to need money for that. And I get what is it? I use my healthcare spending account to pay for a lot of that. So even though I'm not working now and I'm a return, I still get work benefits. So I can use that for their orthodontia. But it's just a lot of things that come up. Like my daughter had a honor roll ceremony, so there's a new outfit for that. Even though did she need a new outfit? No, but I got her one. That was big. You were honor roll all year, so it's certain things that I would like to do with them. Birthdays, holidays. So I try to make room for those things as well. I think that as a parent, you don't want to spoil your children, but I think also as a parent, kids should be able to experience life and they should be able to go through life and not have to be like, oh, we don't have it. You know, I don't think kids should have to hear, oh, I'm broke, I don't have it, or that's not in the budget. Karen McDowell, it's a shocker when you add up the restaurant receipts. Yep. Now that's the thing right there. I would think our food budget could come down astronomically. It could. All those going out to eat, that doesn't have to happen. Like my food bill can definitely be cut way down. Instead of 3,000 a month on buying food and going out, that can definitely be cut back on. And but sometimes I just don't feel like cooking. Although sometimes I get pissed off and be like, "Nah, we ain't doing that." Um, you know what? Sometimes, it just depends on what it is. It really depends on what it is. And like I said, my daughter wanted lashes right now for graduation. I said no. I said no to that because, like I said, I just had to pay the girl to do her hair again, and that was a few $100s. And I had to buy a new dress and all this and no. And she actually did just some clusters, and I'm like, they look just as good. She's like, yeah, but they won't last as long. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I didn't pay for the lashes this time. I was like, no, because the reason why I told her no is because I had to pay that $100 for the book fine. If not, she could have used that $100 for her lashes. But or sometimes they'll want to work and do something extra, or they'll do some babysitting for their sister to make money, or they'll do some work for whomever to make money, and they'll get the stuff that they want done without having to ask me. But most of the time, 99% of the time, it's all on me. Right, butterfly. I mean, I do try to save like when I can. I'm not a big saver, but I do have other things lined up to where, um, you know, I'm gonna be okay. Like I said, I'm 2 years ahead on some things. Uh, I have things that's gonna manifest right now. That's gonna happen for me that I worked on 2 years ago. That's how I work. I'm like, okay, I know that I have. And that's what I said. As a mom or as a dad, how can you say you don't have it? You know, when you did have it or when things were good, you should have been saving or you should have been looking into the future. So that even though if you don't get it right now, what you're working on right now could net you a good amount later on. Like if I don't have a good content month, that's okay because I know in my good months I'm gonna get 5 figures. And that 5 figures is gonna be what I'm paying for prom with. I'm paying for prom and stuff for money that I got in January. So, and I'm working hard right now to make sure that my next content bag, and when I say content bag, it can come from Facebook, it can come from affiliate marketing, it could come from some course I sold, and that's what I mean by getting to that money because I got to get to that money. I have kids and I got to work hard today because in the future I might be sick with asthma or something. I might not be, y'all might see me posting content and I'm in the bed for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So, and my kids can't look at me like, oh, I ain't got it because I'm sick with asthma. No, we already got it. The refrigerator's already full. You already got everything you need. So we're good. And life, God wants us to experience life in all forms. So there will be time, and I have had times where I didn't have it financially. You know, so that is what taught me to live in the future, to plan today for the future. And like I said, all the time it won't be like that. Every time I won't be good to go like that, but I trust God and I know that we'll still be okay even if we're not able to go out to eat every day, even if we're not able to buy Jordans and get bundles and do all that stuff, we'll still be good. We'll still be good. Long as we're living, long as we have our health, long as we got a roof over our head and we got food in that refrigerator, I can get in my car and it's starting up without a problem. I can put gas in my car, we're good. It doesn't always have to be it doesn't always have to be a grand whatever. Let me see. Let me read some of these comments. Just Nobody. We all just out here trying to make sure these crumb snatchers are good. Absolutely. Let me see. Yes, entertainment you love. The tongue is a powerful thing. Butterfly family, I'm trying to get back into cooking. I have been cooking this week. Yesterday, I did make some lemon pepper wings at home. Now, I didn't videotape the whole thing because my phone was dead and I was getting tired. I don't know. But so, oh, I went live. So I didn't get a chance to go back in there and film them afterwards. And they were good too. They cooked a little bit too long and got a little bit too crispy, but they were actually good. And I didn't fry them. I tossed them. I just put them on a rack and I put them in, no, I put them on a cookie sheet and I seasoned them up. I soaked them in lemon and salt and then I put them in the oven and let them crisp up in the oven. So I like to do that a lot too when I'm cooking at home. If I'm cooking at home, very rarely will I cook something that's high in fat, and that's why I like to cook at home too because I usually when I cook I like to make a clean meal, and sometimes when my asthma is flared up, I can't really cook like I want to, and I try to get the kids to cook, but they have school or they have things going on. So now that it's summer, I'm going to be on them a little bit more because they do know how to cook a few things. So I'm going to be on them about that more. So, but a lot of times, yeah, we were eating out because I wasn't feeling well. They were at school all day, and it was just like, okay, let me just go do this. But that makes you feel a little bit worse too. You can't get better eating all that uh, fast food. One thing about it though, I always got McDonald's money from my grandbabies. I know that's right. I didn't even get started on the grandbabies because that Dreamy, my granddaughter, I buy her some of everything. Oh my gosh, every shoe, every dress I find for her, and she loves her bubbles, and oh my gosh, I just love buying her stuff. Oh my gosh, and then her sister, she comes at me like I'm her mama, grandma. Can you buy me some new Jordans? Or grandma, can you give me a new cell phone? Just like she's one of my kids. I'm like, look, you're the grandchild. And I guess grandchild children are supposed to be able to come to their grandparents for anything, but I still got dependent children. That's what my grandmother told me. Look, I had dependent children still. And I'm like, okay, I got teenagers too. So, you know, but I still do for my both of my grandchildren. I buy them stuff all the time. I just did my granddaughter's birthday for her. Like I said, I took them all to Disneyland and Dream. She's always over here. Since she's been born, when she was born, she came from the hospital straight to my house. So I buy her stuff all the time. Me and my mama. My mom is that type of, and that's probably where I get it from. My grandmother probably has the same nickel that she made when she was 12 years old and went to the store for one of her family members and earned a nickel. My grandmother, uh, she can keep money. If you give her birthday money today, she might have that birthday money next year. She can go to the store and look around and come out with nothing. She just like going to look. My grandma, one thing she is not going to do is waste her money or spend her money. She like looking at it and it's all crisp. It's all crisp, like fresh out the bank, fresh out the wrapper money, fresh out the printing press money. She don't play that, spending all her money. And she look at me upside my head like I'm crazy every day. Now my mother like to, it's like she can't stand to have money in her pockets. It's like, oh no, I got to get rid of it. My grandkids need me. My kids need me. And she's gonna get rid of that money. Mm-hmm. Yep. So my mom was like, I don't know. I just like making sure my grandkids have what they need. So she's gonna do it. When it was Kamaria's prom, she helped out with that and all of that. So you said I'm their ginger. You know what? For the longest time, my first grandchild was Alea, just nobody. She was calling me auntie because she didn't hear anybody else calling me grandma, so she was calling me auntie. But yeah, now she calls me grandma. What I won't go for is that Nana stuff. If you call me Nana, please. Yes, Kendall, they do think we're the bank and our money grows on trees. And just nobody, yes, we're all out here trying to make sure. And you know what? I know some moms who are not out here like that trying to get their money for get it for their kids. And I don't understand that. I don't understand that. How you don't how you'll be okay like to say you don't have money to get your kids school clothes or to get them a Christmas gift or to get them a birthday party. And like I said, it doesn't have to be on a grand scale. One gift is enough for Christmas. A birthday cake and a happy birthday, and you took them out to celebrate their birthday is enough. Anybody can do that. Hell, save your cans throughout the year. You know, taking some babysitting, do some kind of you know, do some work for somebody, clean some houses, but don't tell your kid you don't have it because if you got breath in your body and you got strength in your bones, you can get up and go do something extra. You know, even if you can't get up and go work, you can watch somebody's kids. Somebody always want their little brats babysat. You can watch somebody's kids. You can do some meal prep for somebody if you can cook. You can have them pay you and you can do some meal prep. It's a million and one ways you can make money as a mom. And I need to do a live about that. There's a million and one ways that you can make extra money if you use your what you have. We all have something. Who was that in the Bible? I don't know the Bible like the back of my hand, like some of you Christians do. You know, I know the word, I know the stories, but who was that had that olive oil, and then she was able to sell it? That's all she had left. We have to use what we have, and we all have something if we really think about it. I met someone and she told me that she was tired of going back and forth to work. She was real stressed out. Her blood pressure was going out, and she said she just finally had to quit. And she said on that first weekend, she cooked and made some food, and she made enough money to buy the food and make some money. She said every week she was able to make enough money to gain a profit to the point where she was making more money or twice the amount of money that she was working on that job. And she would just buy the food and cook. Just like me, I don't like cooking all the time. There are lots of people who can't cook because they're sick or because they're working and they have a demanding life. Maybe you're a mom who has to take your after work. You have to take your kid to basketball practice, or you have a kid. You have one of those sports kids. If you have a sports kid, your life is not your own. Just nobody listen. I wanted them to call me auntie. My daughter was like, no, they're gonna be confused. Yeah, you know, um, there's a lot we can do. Some parents have to be at work early in the morning and they can't drop their kids off at school and they work late hours to where they can't pick them up. And rather than leaving them at before and after school, they might say, okay, can you pick them up? You can offer that service. Hey, I'm picking up and dropping off kids at school. Let me know. I'm only charging $10 a day for before, $10 after. I'll have your kids at school. You get 5 extra kids, that's $100 a week. It doesn't have to be a lot, but that's the money that you're going to use for your son's haircuts or for your kids' new shoes or for their birthday party. And you have to do this ahead of time. You can't get to the birthday and say, well, where's my money? I don't have money. No, you need to do that ahead of time. Collect all your cans. Make some meals for some people. Whatever you can do. And I hope somebody that's listening that this is helping them, you know, because somebody might not be thinking to themselves that they may be thinking to themselves, all I have is what I work for. You're going to have to use a little bit of that time that you were going to sleep, or you're going to have to use that day that you had off from work, or maybe pick up a few extra hours at work. I did that a lot. I did that a lot. My normal shift was to work 56 hours a week. And sometimes I would go in, I have 4.5 days off. So sometimes I would go in on my off day so I can have, you know, that overtime, that time and a half. Because I knew I needed that extra money because it was going to be Christmas or whatever. Or just to have that extra, you know, that extra money on my paycheck. One time I think I worked an extra, I doubled my paycheck a couple of times because I had to get to it. My kids, you know, it was Christmas time, and I like to be able to do certain things and live a certain way. And no, I'm not going to wait on anybody. You know, my youngest, their father is gone. I get a little Social Security from him, but other than that, it's just me. It's just me and whatever I'm doing. And nobody is saying, you know, my mom, she might do something here and there, but nobody is coming over here supplementing a thing over here. So I got to get to it, and I'm going to do that. Nobody but God. A prayer takes you where your mind, where your body cannot take you. Prayer will do just that. You might be thinking to yourself, oh, I won't be able to have this, I won't be able to have that. Most of what I got it from prayer. I said, God, please let my content sell something. And my content wasn't doing well at all. And he said, all right, I'm going to give you this. Let's see how you do with this. Prayer will take you where your mouth, where your feet, where your where your car, where people, where your husband, where your mama, where your family cannot take you. And I'll tell anybody that. So, and I believe 100% God does not want us to be wasteful. He doesn't want us to be grand and just living high on the hog. He wants us to take what he gives us and use it the way he wants us to use it. He wants us to help others, but he wants us to take care of these babies. He wants to bless us, and he wants us to take care of his babies. So, with that being said, y'all, this was a good conversation, and I could talk all day long, but I gotta go. I gotta take my baby to school. She's already late on her last day. Well, we're running late. She's not late, and she don't like to be late. So, I might come back on here later today, but probably not. Thank you guys for tuning in. I thank you guys for engaging, and I thank you guys for supporting your girl. Um, I hope to support you all too. Jess New Body, I see you go live. I'll be coming to your live. Jazzy, I know you'll probably be live later. I might peek in. Even if I don't text because I'm doing something, I'll still turn you guys on and let you play in the background or catch the replay. But you guys have a good day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless.